Good evening and welcome to News Tonight. I'm Tina Jha. Let's begin with the day's top stories. BJP President Amit Shah addresses two-day BJP executive meet, says while Modi government is working to make India, Congress is making efforts to break India. Pledges to return BJP to power in 2019 with a bigger victory than 2014. Government committed to charting the course for cleaner and greener fuel. Petroleum Minister Pradhan says work underway to enable electric vehicles to be charged at 50,000 petrol and gas pumps. Blames external factors for increasing petrol and diesel prices. Hindu society has solutions to the world's problems, asserts RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat at the Second World Hindu Congress, says Hindus must take the lead in eliminating social and economic inequality. Prime Minister Modi's message read out at the conference underscores use of technology to connect people with Hindu thought. Defence Ministry decides biennial air show Aero India will be held in Bengaluru. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister had requested Lucknow as the venue. Political parties in Karnataka had opposed the proposal. An Indian shooting team continues dominance in ISSF World Championship in South Korea. Ankur Mittal claims men's double trap gold medal. After the 7th day of competition, India has 20 medals, 7 gold, 7 silver and 6 bronze. The two-day meeting of BJP National Executive was held on Saturday in New Delhi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and BJP Chief Amit Shah jointly inaugurated the meet. The party has decided to fight the 2019 Lok Sabha elections under the leadership of Amit Shah. Addressing the National Executive meet, Shah pledged to work to ensure the party is returned to power in the Lok Sabha elections with a bigger victory than in 2014. The BJP chief, however, cautioned the party workers and said, "We should not be complacent." He also called the Mahagathbandhan an eyewash, an illusion based on falsehood. The BJP president also added that the Narendra Modi-led government is working for making India, whereas the Congress is working for breaking India. The two-day meeting is being attended by its national leadership, key leaders from all states and union territories, and also office bearers.
2019 के चुनाव के लिए तैयारी के ऊपर बहुत बात की है अध्यक्ष जी ने, और उससे पहले राजस्थान, मध्य प्रदेश, छत्तीसगढ़, मिजोरम और अभी ये भी बोले कि नया तेलंगाना का भी जोड़ दिया। ये सभी चुनावों में हम एकदम अच्छा मेहनत करके हम दोबारा जीत कर आए जहां हमारी सरकार है, और जहां इस विषय को बोलने के समय 2019 का संदेश भी उसमें जोड़े कि जहां 19 प्रोविंस में हमारी सरकार है वहां तो बिल्कुल हम अच्छा सा नंबर लेकर के जीत कर आएंगे, और जहां बंगाल, उड़ीसा, तेलंगाना जैसे प्रांतों में हम सेकेंड प्लेस में हैं, एंटी इनकम्बेंसी कभी भी ये सेकेंड पोजीशन में जिनको है उनके बेनिफिट में चले जाता है। इसीलिए इन सभी तीनों जगह पर जहां हमारी पोजीशन सेकेंड है हम उधर भी जीत कर आएंगे।
Petroleum Minister Pradhan has reiterated that the hike in fuel prices in the country was due to international factors and strengthening of the US dollar. He also said that the OPEC had promised to produce 1 million metric tons of oil per day, but as per July-August statistics, the target is not being fulfilled. He also added that issues of Iran, Venezuela and Turkey are creating pressure on oil production, and said these factors are not in India's hands. Fuel prices witnessed a fresh hike on Saturday, with petrol being sold at a record high rate of 80 rupees 38 paise per litre in New Delhi and diesel at 72 rupees 51 paise per litre. The price of petrol rose to 87 rupees 77 paise per litre in Mumbai, while diesel is being sold at 76 rupees 98 paise per litre.
OPEC has assured world community from July 1st they will be producing 1 million metric ton, 1 million barrel per day. Additional production will be there. If we go by the July and August statistics, that target is not complied by OPEC countries. That apart, certain issues of Iran, Venezuela, and crisis in Turkey is creating pressure on oil production.
On to some other news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said Hindu philosophy can help find solutions to several problems that plague the world today. In a message to the Second World Hindu Congress, the Prime Minister called for the use of technology to connect more people to Hinduism. He said digitizing ancient epics can deepen their connect with the younger generation. The Prime Minister's message was read out at the session by eminent Indian American Bharat Barai, in which he expressed hope that the meeting would deliberate upon how better India can engage with the world based on its ancient treasure trove of knowledge, intellectually and culturally, to help build a future of understanding, acceptance, sharing and caring for our future generations to live and thrive. The Prime Minister said he is glad that the conference is being held in Chicago, which reminds every Indian of one proud moment when Swami Vivekananda addressed the Parliament of the World's Religions in 1893 in the same month of September, 125 years ago. RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat, who was the keynote speaker at the event, said Hindu society is now on a rise, spreading its wisdom to the world.
Our values, which are universal values, presently called by the world as Hindu values, those are the values which will lead into welfare of everything and everyone. Individual, society, human society, the environment, the nature which we live in, and these three together will prosper together, progress together, and eventually reach the realization of absolute truth, that is Parameshti.
And Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu will address the event on Sunday. On the sidelines of the Congress, the Vice President will also hold bilateral discussions with several world leaders attending the event. He will further take part in a program organized by 14 Telugu associations of the United States at the Hindu Temple of Greater Chicago. Back home, DMK President M.K. Stalin on Saturday held a meeting of its district secretaries, MPs and MLAs in Chennai. The party passed 8 resolutions at its headquarters in Chennai. In his address, Stalin said the party was ready to pay any price to uphold constitutional values. The meeting is the first one headed by Stalin after his August 28 elevation as party chief. Training its guns on the Tamil Nadu government led by arch-rival AIADMK, the DMK charged that the ruling party had become the epitome of corruption and vowed to unseat it. It announced statewide protests against the government on the 18th of September. Over 200 party functionaries took part in this crucial meet. And for more on the story, we're being joined in the studio tonight by Mr. Ganapathy Subramaniam, Chief of Bureau, Puttaya Talamurai. A very good evening, sir, and thank you for joining us on News Tonight. Now, the manner in which the DMK in its meeting accused the centre of electoral dictatorship, do you think this is going to be the party's election strategy for 2019?
Yeah, Stalin has made it very clear that he not only wants to capture power in Tamil Nadu, but he also wants to play an important role in the national political scenario.
Yes.
Today, you know very well that Hardik Patel is doing a continuous fast in Gujarat. He is on a protest. Today, on behalf of DMK, former Minister A. Rajya went there and met Hardik Patel and expressed his support. He was sent there by M.K. Stalin to show solidarity. Also, on Monday, when there is a nationwide protest by the Congress and other political parties, including the left, against hike in diesel and petrol prices, DMK has announced that it's going to participate in that protest and make it a very big protest in Tamil Nadu. So therefore Stalin is very clear. He wants to capture power in Tamil Nadu, and he also wants to play a very important role in the national political scenario. Therefore, he is positioning himself as an alternate to AIADMK in Tamil Nadu and to the BJP in the national political scenario. And the current indication is that the coalition with the Congress will continue. Congress and DMK likely to fight the 2019 Lok Sabha election together as a coalition.
So with the position that he has taken, what are the prospects of Stalin leading a secular coalition of parties in Tamil Nadu?
Yeah, definitely. You know about the Gutka raids that happened in Tamil Nadu, the CBI raiding sitting DGP and minister. Both are considered to be very important. A minister of the ruling government is being raided by the CBI, and also a DGP, senior most police officer, is being raided by the CBI. So Stalin is using that as a good opportunity to attack the Tamil Nadu government, saying that these people should resign. And he has also announced a protest, separate protest to make these two people resign. And also he has taken up other important issues like Kaveri water getting wasted, released into the ocean, and also Rajiv Gandhi assassination case convicts to be released. DMK is going to press for that also. So on the one hand, national scenario positioning as a secular party along with the Congress and the left parties, and on the other hand, in Tamil Nadu, pressing local issues to pull down the DMK government as early as possible, or at least make sure that in the next election DMK comes back to power.
But Mr. Subramaniam, you know, one of the resolutions by the DMK in the meeting today was to release the convicts in the Rajiv Gandhi assassination case, as you rightly mentioned. But is it within the rights of the Tamil Nadu government to do so?
It's a very complicated legal issue, Tina. You have understood it correctly. See, earlier there was a case in the Supreme Court where the Supreme Court has ruled that the Tamil Nadu government does not have the power to release these people. That is why the issue has been pending for such a long time. Otherwise, former Chief Minister Jayalalitha wanted to release these people. Central government opposed it and approached the Supreme Court, and the case went on, and finally the Supreme Court said that the state government does not have the power to release them because it was the CBI which conducted the investigation through a special investigation team. And the current BJP government is not in favor of releasing them, saying that they feel that releasing the people who are convicted in the murder of a former Prime Minister will send a wrong signal. It is a wrong precedent. That's what they feel. Therefore, the BJP does not seem to be supporting it. And the Congress also is not coming out openly in support of it. In such a situation, how will the Tamil Nadu government ensure that they are released? They can only request the governor to take a decision to that effect. But it is up to the governor to decide whether he wants to release them or not. So therefore, they may not be released now. Immediate decision is unlikely. But DMK and other opposition parties will make it into a big political issue in Tamil Nadu.
Mr. Subramaniam, coming back to Stalin's leadership, you know, following the demise of Karunanidhi, the biggest challenge before Stalin was to emerge out of the shadow of his father and also keep his party united. Do you think, will Stalin be able to project himself as the most powerful leader in Tamil Nadu in the little time that he has before 2019?
See, there is no doubt that DMK is the strongest opposition party now in Tamil Nadu. There is no doubt about it. Whenever there is an election, they will be on a strong footing. But Stalin faces an internal challenge. As you know very well, his brother Alagiri held a rally in Chennai, which was attended by almost 1 lakh people. And Alagiri has been kept away from the party, expelled from the party, and not been taken back again despite his repeated requests. His father made sure that MK Stalin is the heir apparent, and he takes over. So Stalin has smoothly taken over and appointed his own people in key positions. That is step one. But now, how will he face the challenge from inside? Can he keep all the 1 lakh supporters of MK Alagiri also away from the party? So that is a big question. That is why he is announcing these protests and try to make sure that he is running a dynamic party, and he is established as the supreme leader.
Right. So in the days to come, you see Alagiri posing a threat to Stalin.
See, definitely he has already given the first signal, But right now he's saying, take me back into the party, take my supporters into the party, we are ready to work with you. But M.K. Stalin and his supporters have a doubt. When Adagiri comes in, what will he do? Will he again start attacking the leadership, ask questions about the leadership's decisions, etc.? That is a big confusion in their mind. That is why they are not taking a decision on this issue. But Adagiri, if he is not taken back after a period of time, now after this protest, he will try other ways. And that will create more trouble for DMK, especially during the 2019 Lok Sabha election and also in the next assembly election. And immediately there are some by-elections also in Tamil Nadu, where Adagiri can probably try and defeat the DMK.
Yeah, so both brothers, of course, will try and stay in relevance. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Subramaniam, on News Tonight and giving us an insight into the Tamil Nadu politics. Moving on in the bulletin, the Defence Ministry on Saturday announced that the next edition of Aero India will be held in its traditional venue of Bengaluru from the 20th of February to the 24th next year. Aero India is Asia's largest aerospace exhibition. The Defence Ministry said a number of global defence majors and big investors in the aerospace industry are expected to participate in the 5-day event, besides leading think tanks from across the world. Last month, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath had made a request to Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to choose Lucknow as the venue for Aero India, triggering angry reactions from various political parties in Karnataka. On the second and last day of the Global Mobility Summit on Saturday, Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan asserted that India should focus on alternative fuel options for a productive growth. Addressing the summit, he underscored that India's transport needs can be answered only by public transport.
Addressing a thematic session on sustainable mobility at the Global Mobility Summit in New Delhi, Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister Dharmendra Pradhan asserted that India is committed to ensuring a clean and green fuel network. He said that as the world moves towards the future of mobility, the transition has to be focused on clean and affordable mobility solutions. Pradhan said there is an expectation that electric vehicles will become more affordable and eventually act as major disruptor to oil demand. The minister said to achieve cleaner emissions, India is switching to BS6 standard fuels by 2020 across India.
Apart from our conventional solarization program, India, our public sector companies are holding more than 50,000 gas stations in the country. In a massive strategy, we are putting rooftop solar panels in all petrol bunks in the country. India is committed for a cleaner and green fuel network.
Addressing the event, Minister of State for Housing and Urban Affairs Hardeep Singh Puri said the world is moving towards alternative sources of environmentally friendly energy.
My inner thoughts in terms of perspective. India's is a sui generis case. We are dealing with urbanization of 600 million people by 2030, which means our public transport approach has to just get it right. I think we are on the way to getting there. There are hurdles on the way, specifically when you're setting up a metro, you have to do land acquisition, but the good news is, I think the Metro Act and the Metro Policy of 2017, revised Metro Policy, are making our task easier.
On Friday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the first Global Mobility Summit MOVE. Over 2,200 participants from across the world, including leaders from the government, industry and research organizations, took part in the event organized by Niti Aayog. Vipin Chauhan's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
With that, time for a very short break. News and updates will continue on the other side.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
prolific British poet and story writer Joseph Rudyard Kipling, one of the first masters of short stories in English. In 1894 appeared his Jungle Book, which became a children's classic all over the world. Kim, the story of Kimball O'Hara and his adventures in the Himalayas, is perhaps his most felicitous work published. Set in and concerned with India he had come to know and love so well. In 1907, Kipling became the first English language writer to receive the Nobel Prize for Literature.
Welcome back. You're watching News Tonight. The Ministry of Women and Child Development has invited nominations for the National Children Awards 2018. According to an official release, Union Minister Maneka Gandhi said the National Children Awards is an amazing platform to honor exceptional achievements of children and those who strive towards the welfare, development and protection of children. President Ramnath Kovind will confer the awards on the children with outstanding achievements in the fields of innovation, sports, arts and culture, social service and bravery. The last date to submit nominations is the 30th of this month. The ministry has also launched a logo design contest for the awards. Details of the contest are available on the ministry's Facebook and Twitter accounts. September 8th is International Literacy Day. This year's 52nd International Literacy Day is being celebrated on the theme Literacy and Skill Development. The day highlights the importance of literacy or the ability to read and write for individuals, communities and societies. According to UNESCO statistics, India's literacy rate is 72.1%. The government and non-profit organizations are working to reach 100% literacy by the year 2022. On the occasion of World Literacy Day, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has asked every citizen to take a pledge to make universities like Nalanda, Takshila great once again. World Physiotherapy Day is also celebrated every year on the 8th of September. The theme for this year is physical activity and mental health. It is a global event to recognize the incredible role of physiotherapists in the society. The day also spreads awareness about the role the physiotherapists play in improving people's mental health through physical activity. This day was designated in 1996 by the World Confederation for Physical Therapy.
Awareness Day when we are celebrating the World Physiotherapy Day. So the most important thing is people should take care of their musculoskeletal system so that they can remain fit and healthy. Actually, we need the media support. So we should try to create more and more awareness through the media, and we should organize the health camps for the general public to create the awareness.
A Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist was killed in an attack at a police picket in Jammu and Kashmir's Anantnag district on Saturday. A soldier was also injured in the attack. The terrorist was killed after the police foiled a weapon-snatching bid in Achbal area. 2 cars and weapons of the terrorist were also recovered from the site of the attack. The police have registered a case in this regard and the investigation is currently on. News now from Nepal, where at least 6 passengers, including a Japanese national, died after an altitude air helicopter with 7 people on board crashed on Saturday. According to Chief District Officer of Nuwakot District, the fatalities were confirmed and a female passenger was rescued. Nepal's Civil Aviation Authority said the missing chopper was spotted in a place called Satyavati, which is situated inside a dense forest area. The local police has confirmed that the chopper was en route to Kathmandu from Gorkha when it crashed between the border of Nuwakot and Dhading district. The helicopter had airlifted a passenger from a village in Gorkha and went off the radar. The UN Postal Agency will issue special stamps in New York next month to commemorate the festival of Diwali. The United Nations Postal Administration will issue a New York special event sheet on the 19th of October to commemorate the festival. The sheet, in the denomination of $1.15 contains 10 stamps and tabs featuring festive lights and diyas. The background of the sheet features the United Nations headquarters building illuminated with the message of Happy Diwali to celebrate the spirit of the festival. India's permanent representative to the UN, Syed Akbaruddin, has welcomed the announcement. And on to some sports news now. India earned its 7th gold medal at the ongoing 52nd ISSF World Championship on Saturday. Ankur Mittal won the men's double trap title after scoring 140 points. China's Yang won silver with an identical score. Mittal is only the second Indian after Manavjit Singh Sandhu to win gold in a shotgun event at the Worlds, and the 5th Indian overall after Abhinav Bindra, Sandhu, Tejaswini Sawant and Om Mitterwal. Ankur also won the team bronze in the event along with compatriots Asab and Vihan. After the 7th day of competition, India have 20 medals, 7 gold, 7 silver and 6 bronze. And on to the US Open now. In the women's singles final, Japan's Naomi Osaka will face Serena Williams in the women's singles final tonight. While Williams will be eyeing for a record equaling 24th Grand Slam title, Osaka will be looking to create history by becoming the first Japanese woman to win a Grand Slam title. Osaka beat American Madison Keys yesterday to reach her first ever Grand Slam final. And that's it from us in this bulletin. Thanks for watching.